Hey everybody, it's Ever from Hood Time Welding. Today we're going to be working on this side-by-side. Customer has been working on this himself. He put the roll cage on and stuff. Next thing he wanted on is this windshield. A windshield bracket. There's actually a windshield that fits in here. So his first thought was to mount it out here. So he tried to cut some gussets and he just couldn't quite figure out how to get it in here and, bolt it up and stuff. It's hard to, because of this lip. So my suggestion was to actually put it on the inside and actually flip it upside down. There's some marks on the windshield that putting it this way is going to mean it's upside down, but he doesn't really care as long as it fits. So the first thing we're going to have to do is the width is just a little bit wide. We're going to have to trim that down. And then we're going to have to fit it up here around these. We're going to have to cut out for the center here. So that this will set up in here better. So we'll do that. But first thing I want to do is I want to actually get the width right, and then we can start marking it out to get the height right. So I'd actually started measuring stuff. And let's set this down over here. And it's easier to measure from out here so you can see that you're all the way the same width as the cage. And the same width of the cage is 41 and a half. And 41 and a half. Thing of the notice though when I was measuring is if we get back in here, you measure this center beam, and you measure from this right here, center's about 19 and a 16th. But on this side, we're at about 19 and 3/16. So we're going to have to keep that in mind when we cut out for this center bar. Pretty much probably what I'm going to do, just do this. And what we'll end up doing is, well, actually cut it at 20 and a quarter to get this notched out. But he wants to try to keep this as flush as he can against the bars, against the top. He's thinking of sort of leaving this gap here and this gap here for wind holes. But so that's what we're working on today. Like I said, let me just double check this because we don't want to cut twice. So we have 41 and a half inches. You look on the bar here, up here, we have 42 inches. So we have to knock off a half inch. I actually started marking this and then I realized my microphone wasn't on. I'm sorry. So what we did is we came up until we were right at this mark. We actually, I guess, should have come up a little bit further and got the. See, that's a good thing. This things got screwed up because we actually want it at 41 and a half, not 40 and a half, because I screwed up. So let's double check ourselves a third time. So yes, 41 and a half. So actually, it's a good thing. Let's remark that again because, I screwed up, which happens. So right about there is our 41 and a half. So we're actually gonna, sorry, oh, a marker in my mouth. So we're actually gonna cut it right from there. I think I had it pretty even going across 3 and a quarter. Oh no, I didn't. So what was this? This was at 3 and a quarter. This one was at 4. So 3 3/8 down. So the bottom edge of that. Bottom edge there. And this is probably some of the stuff that was sort of annoying the customer. So there we go. So we're actually, since all the way up here, this flares out to 42, we're going to be taking a 1/4 inch off there. It's not much. So we're just pretty much nipping off this corner. Um, and then what we're going to do is we'll actually find the center of this after we get those nipped off. And like I said, we'll measure up from the bottom that, I don't even remember, 21 and something. I'll double check that measurement. And we'll cut around for that bar so we can actually get it set up in there and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on time lapse because there's probably going to be a lot of measuring. The cutting's going to get loud. But as always, thanks for joining me, and let's get going. We've gotten it this far. Now it's just a matter of fine tuning. You can see we got a center mark here. This center mark works pretty much. The problem is we can't flex this meat here. We're gonna have to bend this, but we got to get it in closer. And just trying to figure out the best way to do that. Do we want to just keep it tight here and then fill the gap in? Or, I'm not sure yet. On this side, it's the only thing really holding us out is this bolt. Which isn't a big deal. I can just nip that corner. Yeah, I think the top's off a little bit. I think it's sitting a little low. The other thing is, I'll just cut that off, finish getting it out of the way. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to get this attached and make it so it's not floppy. I mean, I've got plenty along the bottom there. I should have enough of a lip for the windshield to go in when it's up all the way. So right now, that's what I'm going to be figuring out. Just wanted to explain sort of where I was at, what I was doing. So the way we're going to hold this on is I've actually got a new tool. It's rivet nuts. So I'll be able to drill some holes in, put the rivet in for the bolt, and then just screw a bolt in there. That way, the roof here, they actually went all the way through. And I don't like that because that gives it a spot to leak. Plus, that sort of weakens the frame just a teeny bit on these. So that's why I went with I'm just going to go with the rivet nut. I already got the drill bits out. It's a new tool to me, so we'll see how it works out. But like I said, right now, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to really get this in here nice. Yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Another project done. I was able to recess these two top screws with the rivet nuts like I wanted. The bottom ones, I just couldn't get that angle, so I had to go all the way through. I'm not crazy happy about it, but it is what it is. In hindsight, I should have took a little bit less out of this section here. I thought we were going to be able to bring it up more, but the big thing is I got to keep this flat so that the windshield still fits on it. I did bend these over, figuring if any water splashes up, it'll hit that, go back down the windscreen. The hardest part about this is I don't think this cage is exactly square. We could tell from one center measurement. So for aesthetics, I just tried to match this bottom pipe and this ledge, and then in the two corners. The top's off a little bit, but it's the best I could do with what I had. I know that top wiggled a little bit, but you're going to have that windscreen in there with that rubber grommet, so I think it'll be fine. Of course, my usual of trying to get switched around. So as usual, I hope you enjoyed this project. If anything, give me a big thumbs up. You know all the rest. And we'll talk to you on the next one.